Yo, what is good, everybody? What is good, yo? Goblinslayer is on that chill time, so you gotta wait for that goblin slaying, but you know what it was. This week, man, we keep learning more and more about this world that I think is definitely gonna be something that can even push someone who's like critically insane, excuse me, in the sense of he doesn't want to fight anything else but goblins. Goblins are the only things that should be killed by him, so forth. Um, I think this is the perfect example of keeping some type of method on hand for even this type of character to have a reason to fight, to have a reason to, go out of their comfort zone, even if they are like as nutty as they are, simply because if he doesn't at some of these points, he made the point of if I don't kill all these goblins, they're going to become like a bigger deal. They're going to become a bigger problem. And when they one person hearing or the I think it was the long ears that heard it, and she's just like, well, if the demon king comes, we all die regardless, bruh. And he's like, yeah, but if I let those goblins survive, you're just gonna have more of a nuisance on your hand. Not to mention that also, like the king as well. So he always was like in a fighting mode to, defend the reasoning kind of why he needs to do it. Not only the reasoning why, but he's also fighting, to do it for his own reason. And I think it's a clever way to try to break someone out of their comfort zone. But at the same time, I honestly don't see it working to the fullest degree that they want it to work, which is like, come on, it's gotta be like that, right? They gotta have that Goblin Slayer esque uh, vibe still. They don't want to just drop altogether him being like, oh no, I do want to fight demon lords. I do want to fight. You know what I mean? So, and I think it's funnier that way because not only did we learn more about the world, we learned so much about these huge named people. Okay, people that we knew nothing about until just this episode. So this episode is critical. Okay, it is critical to all the people who um, you know, don't watch all of like the fight. Like you don't care as much about the fighting as you do about like developing characters and stuff like this. This seemingly is our step into one of the greatest of the greats, and not only is it the greatest of the greats, we're seemingly also learning maybe who um, not only bestowed the power of, the power that this maiden's got, but also I think this might be the woman who literally beat the previous rise of like the demon lord and stuff like that. So if that is the case, that's absolutely nutty. And to think that she might also be connected to the girl that we've been, watching over, or, like the little priestess girl, she might be connected to this woman and might not even know just how big of a role her mother has played, or maybe it's some type of generational thing. But the girl is the blonde-haired maiden. It's like straight up a woman that looks 110% identical, wearing the same thing as this priestess that's been following us around this whole time. And not only all of that, we get this instance of she hires Goblin Slayer, you know, and not only does she hire Goblin Slayer, she hires him uh, in a situation where there's no goblins. So somehow this man got talked into doing this, and I think it comes more in line with him knowing, uh, like a certain, because think about it. I mean, if there is any relation to the priest girl and this envelope, he might have been obliged to take it just to make sure, everything was okay. We didn't really even understand fully, what it was. It only said there was like something goblin related. I mean, anybody could have goblins and their I was gonna say like their underground place. Well, I was thinking of like a cellar. Cellar is the name I was looking for. You could have like goblins in your cellar, or they could be evil people that have goblins that they just torture. They wanted to get rid of, the actual bodies or something, something weird like that. But if it is that type of situation, he is 100% going to go there and, react to this simply off of, just hearing that there's goblins. And that is truly his one downfall of being able to be tricked and be put in positions where he probably shouldn't be. Um, but other than that, if he can still, fight that big guy that we saw, even though he did need that scroll, the scroll really did help bring an end to all of that. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a scroll, seeing how we saw him asking about the blacksmith to repair or to, put in a word to reinforge it, like to probably get uh, at least it probably had like durability or use, uh, like a use flaw. If you use it once, it has to be certainly set up a certain way. And maybe that's where that wizard girl that, knew about Goblin King having it comes into play. Maybe she just knows about it because she's the one who has to fix it, being like the most magical person we've seen besides watching these two newcomers this whole episode. A girl and a guy who pretty much dissed on Goblin King. They even recommend. That's why I like shows like this too. They're self-aware of what the characters did to the point of if someone forgot, they announce it. Because a lot of people are. I've noticed they don't even see really the small characters or the background characters just because of all of the hypocrisy and everybody getting all been out of shape about the first episode that now everybody's just watching to see something like the first episode happen again, which says a lot more about the people watching it than actually the people enjoying it and watching it because they want to know how these goblins are about to be put down for good, or was there always some type of weird backstory that maybe us and the goblins are somehow, connected, like the story he had, where if you're envious or, like jealous and you want something that other people have, you become a goblin. And that is a case where this guy that we see the Goblin Slayer observes, and what happens? He's completely mad and envious, that whatever he did as an adventurer, it was, looked down upon. So what is he gonna do? He's gonna try to figure out a way to still be able to keep everything he's got and probably take out the people that knows that what he did. Um, or take out the girl who can sense lies. She can straight up sense when you're lying and her seal goes off or her magic starts just going off. And if you have someone like that out of the picture, you can't, a lot of people can't really question you. But the more and more I keep watching this, the more I get a little antsy to know just how these women are, seeing Goblin Slayer. Because at this point, we got the farm girl who seemingly she's using him to live out her life of supposedly just waiting to be able to say something to a person that she thinks is dead, excuse me, from quite a bit ago. Uh, the priestess is using him in the sense of protection and to maybe figure out what she can do with her power overall. She definitely is not doing missions probably by herself. She's always going to be waiting for him to get a goblin one, and she just all of a sudden stops hunting everything and only hunts goblins. So maybe using him is a bad term. Maybe she just truly cares about him and wants to be around him and stuff like that, which she's already been best girl to me. But if she has something to do with this maiden, things are going to get a lot more complicated for her, and I can see her arc turning from her being a friend of those people to all of a sudden an enemy because they're trying to, do something to Goblin Slayer. So a lot happened with an episode with no action, so I wouldn't be surprised if I hear this is the worst episode of all times of Goblin Slayer from everybody. So expect that from the common masses, but people that could actually enjoy knowledge and enjoy learning something new about the world, and also watching these two kids going through these dungeons fighting other things. It kind of seems like the Goblin Slayer gets the best end of the deal almost too, because sure he's fighting only one type of enemy, but at least he's not running into like 2 to 3 different types of enemies at once. And one's a freaking giant rat, the others are a giant freaking like uh, fleas or something, man, or flies. Um, there's a lot of rough things out there, and to think that he's already picked the thing that's the most humanoid with like a human body shape and stuff like that, but at the same time it's all green like Shrek. Um, I'm just interested to see how many types of monsters there are. But if you guys enjoyed this, I hope you subscribe and join the just join the squad. We out here talking about any and all animes that we truly enjoy. Other than that, though, I want to say that there's a couple more animes coming out that I want to talk about, but I'm not sure which one, to be fully honest. I got Sword Art and I got Radiance I want to talk about today, and I'm not sure if you guys like the format of having one video or two, like have 2 videos a day or 3 videos. I can put out quite a bit. So in the comments down below, if you are watching this and you went all the way through, thank you so much, first of all. And secondly, if you want 3 or 2 videos, let me know and I can actually get that done for you, or I can hold out and just do 2 and save Radiance for another day with a different anime that comes out tomorrow. So with that, everybody, I will talk to you in the next one, and thank you so much for the support. Let's keep going, let's keep grinding, let's keep loving our anime. All right, everybody, take care. Peace.